Good morning, everyone. I'm Cristina Dani from the International Trade Center, and I'm very pleased to welcome you to this new session of the Alliances for Action series of webinars in collaboration with Caribbean Export Development Agency, as an initiative founded by the European Union, the Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States, CARI Forum, and the UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development Offices, as part of the program of the UK Trade Partnership. So as you know, this is a series that we're doing called Taste Online to improve the digital strategies of food SMEs in the Caribbean. So this is why I'm saying good morning to everyone. This is our fourth session, which is quite exciting, where we will have experts and also entrepreneurs for the Caribbean sharing what they have been doing and how they have achieved that. As ITC, we're very honored and inspired by all the entrepreneurs in the Caribbean and the great work that you're doing. So for us, this is a way of supporting even further what you do and sharing it to the world, so you can share it also in the best way possible. And how we share things right now in our digital lives, it's very much related with pictures are so important. We consume pictures, we share pictures in a daily basis. So this is why we wanted to have a special sessions on pictures and how those relate to your business. And not because you always need a professional photographs to do the pictures, but it's more because they're ways of communicating. And definitely to support your business. So this is why today we have again Aimer and Emily from Digital Works, an agency, marketing agency that as experts will provide us a session on phone photography. And then I'm going to be very happy to give the word to Narina Estido from Naledo. They have an amazing product called Truly Turmeric, and she's here with us also to share her experience. So thank you very much everyone for being here. We have a lot of people on the room, so I will leave now the floor to Amar and Emily. Thank you.
Thanks, Christina. Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining again. So this week's session is all about smartphone photography hacks. So you might have an iPhone or you might have an Android. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sharing just a couple of really simple, practical tips and tricks that you guys can apply immediately after this session to your photography for your products. It could be anything from the chocolate, the coffee, the coconuts, anything at all that you're going to be promoting. So you know myself and Emily already, and we have amazing Narina as well joining us today. And Narina is going to take over the last 15 to 20 minutes of the session to show us exactly how she creates her content as well. So without further ado, we'll dive right into this. And guys, same as last week, please ask as many questions as you want, pop them into the chat, and we'll make sure that we cover as many questions as we can during the session.
Hi guys, so I'm just going to go through what we're going to cover today. So we're going to cover creating content from home, our must-have home equipment, things that you can use around your house, how to create a good setup for your photos, using hands and humans within your photography, and photography editing as well.
So you go ahead, Em.
So for photography skills, the key benefits are that if you are kind of going to use your iPhone and create these images at home, it's hugely cost saving. It also is massively time saving as well. If you are in a rush, kind of instead of setting up or going to a studio, which is a huge cost, using what you have at home with your smartphone, you will get better by practicing. So the more times that you practice, the better you'll see that your photos become, and you're in control of your images. So you can pick exactly what you want to use on your website, on your social, and you can pass on these skills to another team member. So even if it isn't you that's going to be doing your photography, you can pass on these to a colleague as well.
So a question for you guys. After this session, is it going to be you who's going to be taking the pictures, or is it going to be a colleague? And the reason we're asking this is just so that we can make some points of reference throughout this session. As you know, the slides will be shared. This is recorded, so you can always refer back to it. Amazing. So Denise, you've said both. Anyone else, folks? Both. Amazing, Wendy. Brilliant. Yeah, awesome. Okay, brilliant. So guys, this is brilliant, because what we can do is, like, the skills that you learned today and the little tips and tricks, transfer them across. And it's always really helpful to actually have someone doing this with you as well, just to make sure you have the right lighting, the right setup, etc. So that's brilliant. So your equipment checklist. This is generally what you're going to need for a shoot. And Narina actually has examples of this as well, which is awesome. So we have our smartphone, we have something called a mini softbox, which you will see down the line. Some super simple backdrops where you can get in any convenience store or on Amazon if it delivers to your area. So card, paper, wrapping paper, anything at all. A light source, so a ring light, natural sunlight, of course, coming in here from my left, or a lamp. Now, everything that we're going to show you guys, you can purchase for less than $50, $60 altogether. And this is the thing. Everything that you can produce yourself is going to be way more cost effective than hiring a photographer. Now, if you have the budget to do it, absolutely do it. That is fantastic. But if you're looking for your snappy social media pics or topical pictures or seasonal pictures for your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, use these pieces of equipment and you will absolutely fly with your photography. Of course, you need your product and a tripod as well for your smartphone. Again, on Amazon, 10, 12 quid, and you're away.
So the camera settings. So how many of you have an iPhone and how many have Android, just so we know kind of what to focus on? It is pretty similar anyway, but these are kind of the simple settings that you have within an iPhone, and they're very similar within an Android. I can see lots of you saying you have Android.
Yeah.
Amazing. So these are the settings that are already built into your iPhone, and they're just really, really simple, but they can hugely improve the quality of your photos. So grids, I don't know whether anyone's seen that you can kind of press on the bottom of your photo and a grid will appear, and that just makes sure that everything's perfectly in line. So portrait mode, that's really useful if you're going to do kind of portrait images. Instagram nowadays does favor these as well. So obviously you can do the kind of square images on there, but portrait mode will be really, really useful for that. Setting a timer. I'm sure many of you have used that before, but that can be really useful if you are kind of at home doing the photography on your own, and you need to quickly kind of either use your hands or place something in place. So the focus, that's really important. This is just basically when you are pointing your camera at your product, and that's just making sure that you're pressing in the middle so that square comes up, just so you're fully in focus. Time lapse is a really cool feature as well. I'm sure many of you have heard or used this. And then ultra wide shots. This is where you kind of turn your camera the other way and you use it kind of upside down, so you can get really, really wide shots. And very, very similarly for Androids, some of you may have different kind of updates or different versions of what Android you have, but it's pretty similar to the iPhone. So the grids, the portrait modes, timer, focus, time lapse, and ultra wide shots are all either within here. And if there is kind of any questions on this, we can always help you at the end if you don't know where any of these are.
Yeah, if anyone is stuck in finding these, just let us know and we can provide like a screen recording if that would help.
So brands who do it well. So we've gone through some of the brands that we really love, all food and drink brands that do really cool photography on Instagram. So some of these we've actually worked with ourselves. So in the left-hand corner is Walls, which is a kind of sausage roll pastry brand. So we've created these really, really simple shots that are really, really effective on Instagram. And obviously they are just taken on an iPhone, but they can look really, really professional on a feed. Then we've got innocent drinks here in the top left-hand corner, and then proper chips in the right-hand corner as well. And we can't say whether these have definitely been taken not by a professional and just purely by an iPhone, but these are things that you can replicate or kind of use as inspiration, because the way that they've kind of been simply organized is really, really easy to do. A lot of them are using kind of hands and just backgrounds and layouts. So we can kind of come onto this and show you the best ways to do that.
Yeah, and even with this type of photography, guys, all you need to do is have a search on Instagram and do like bird's eye shot, hand shot, and then on Instagram, if you view an image, you can then save it, so you can start creating albums of specific types of shots, which then means you're creating a content mood board. Because guys, like this background here behind these two sausage rolls, that was a plain piece of orange card that we just used, and they're actually another colleagues of ours' hands. And Emily took the picture, and I was holding that plain background. And people don't see like what goes on behind the scenes, they just see the final product. And then this one on the left hand side, that was very simple portrait mode on an iPhone. It was just taken outside on a really bright day, and it turned out really, really well. So you can create exceptional photos in your hands with your iPhone or your Android. So another amazing example is Truly Turmeric. Sometimes in Ireland we say turmeric. For this, I'm going to say turmeric. So Narina has exceptional photography, and we went through so many brands like we did last week, and we picked out Narina's Instagram page. Now, Narina does have a background in photography. However, a lot of her content, I don't want to speak on her behalf, a lot of the content is still created with a smartphone, and Narina is going to go through her setup that she does at home, and you guys can replicate this as well. So towards the end of the session, we will cover that, which I'm really excited about. Guys, just while we're on the topic of brands doing it well, are there any brands that you guys can think of that you could share with your peers now that are also doing really well? We've mentioned Truly Turmeric, we've mentioned Pop Chips, Innocent, Walls. Are there anyone else? Because what we can all do then is after the session, go away and have a look at the accounts that you guys recommend to us as well. Diaspora Co. Amazing. Lime Crime, Colourpop, Paula's Choice. Thanks, Felicia. Hippie, yes, yeah, love that.
Definitely.
So look, and we're going to end up with loads of examples here. So again, all of their photography is going to be quite simple. Product shot, plain background, that's all we want.
Absolutely. So here's a couple of easy arrangement ideas for product shots. And like Emma said, if you find some of these on Instagram, you can save them just using that kind of, it's the third one along, and you can kind of just save that and create albums for your own inspiration. So the first one in line is just a single product shot, and it's just on a kind of wooden surface, but looks so clean and really, really stands out. And this is something that you can use alongside graphics, either on social media, you could use on a website. It's so simple to do, and definitely something you can achieve on a smartphone. So the second one along is a double product household kind of shot, which just has some really plain kind of brown paper along the bottom that really gives that sort of earthy feel, but looks really, really effective as well. So if you, for example, have a brand which you want to talk about sustainability and things like that, bringing in things like plants or kind of like earthy backgrounds would be something that would be a really good idea to do within your photography. And then there's a handheld one. So like we've said previously, like using hands within the photography makes everything a little bit more human. So if it is just fully product shots on your Instagram or on your website, it can look kind of static, whereas bringing in kind of that human element can be so effective. And you will see that in lots of brands across social media. So then there's the product kind of bird's eye shot. For all of you that have something like a food product that would be easy to kind of either put into a bowl or something that you can kind of spill out in a kind of arty sort of way, this could be a really, really good idea. And we see brands like Popcorn doing that. For example, popcorn can kind of look quite cool coming out. So this is just another really simple but effective product shot idea. And then again, similarly, an above shot, but a bit more styled, less messy. This would work if you had kind of a product that would be kind of small, even kind of coffee, this would work for. So these are just kind of some ideas, but again, going and using those kind of Instagram accounts as inspiration, or Pinterest as well.
I think as well the bird's eye shot of the product open, like that would work really well with cacao, coffee, anything like that, you know. And then you've got like coconuts, you know, if you're selling your coconuts, even coconut water, one of the double product shots, or if you had different flavors, like truly turmeric is another example of, you know, having two products together. So you could literally use this as a point of reference and line your products up, and then you'll be able to create all types of content off the back of this. Something as well that Emily mentioned earlier was a grid that you can get in your camera settings. And generally, Narina, you might agree or disagree with this, but just the rule of thirds that we like to follow, and really what it is when you're looking at an image with a grid on it, again, guys, this is in the iPhone settings that we referred to earlier. So if anybody can't find this, just let us know after the session or at the end of it. What you can actually do is create focal points for whatever you're shooting. And the benefits of the rule of thirds are you can balance out an image, so you've got all your sizing correct, all the background spacing correct. You can choose a focal point for it, and you can experiment with different orientations. For example, like here, there's actually more space on the left-hand side, but it works because the plate is actually taking up the image. So then post-production, post-shooting the image, it looks like this, and it's a really beautiful image. So have a play around with the rule of thirds, and it will just give you a really good idea of what to focus on during your photography. Top things to remember when shooting at home. So for example, choose natural light where possible. Narina will talk about this as well. Clean your lens. So many of us forget to actually clean our phone lenses when we're shooting. It's something so simple, but it makes such a massive difference. Take a mixture of portrait, so shots up like this, and then landscape shots like that, just so you've got two variations. And then take between 10 and 50 photo variations, or however many you want, because what you can do is review and use however many you want. So we have a little hack for you guys, and hopefully you guys have this equipment at home. So if you have a small product, even it could be the coffee beans again, just going back to it, or any product that's quite small, you can. And if you have a laptop and a small mirror, you can set up a mirror, place it on a laptop, and what you do is download a specific type of background. So we actually did this. So we downloaded a pink background of a sky. And then we placed the mirror on top of the laptop and put the piece of raw halo chocolate on top of the mirror. Now, the image then turned out like this. So people have no idea how you created that by such a simple hack at home. All we did was download a background and then place the product on a mirror. So guys, if you have a mirror and a laptop at home, or even an iPad that you could reflect onto, you will be able to create this exact type of image as well with any of your products. And if you have quite a big product, you just might need a bigger mirror. But hopefully that's a good hack that will help you guys. And if there's any questions on that, of course, just let us know. Cool.
Editing your photos. So editing for beginners, within your Android or iPhone, there are some really simple settings. For example, adjusting your focus and exposure, adjusting your color brightness and sharpness, and cropping. So these are really kind of simple ways that you can just edit your photos. So you'll see the before and then the after. It looks so much brighter, and definitely ready for Instagram or a website. So yeah, this seems so simple, but just cropping and slightly brightening something can make an image look like pop a lot more.
So
yeah. So editing apps that we would recommend. So Canva is one that we hugely recommend for kind of beginners. If you all of these you can download on an iPhone or an Android as well, but there's Canva, Snapseed, Visco, Lightroom. There are so many different free editing apps which you can use. We love Canva. There are so many templates. I'm going to come on to that in a second, but there are so many, and a lot of them are quite similar. It's just kind of utilizing the one that you think would be best for you. So the reason we love Canva so much is there are thousands of templates that you can use. So if you've got an image, for example, and you want to put it onto a blog tile for your website, whether you want to crop it to social media, there are templates which you can already kind of just drop your image in. It's so simple. It's even kind of got the sizing of everything, so you don't have to worry about whether you've got the right size, whether this is like a Facebook kind of cover photo. It's got endless kind of different things you can use. It's so simple to use. You can also keep all of your brand's assets in there. You can kind of upload them all and just use them as and when you need to. And you can edit your iPhone photography images within the app or on the desktop as well, which is really useful. And you can kind of just log in from your phone and on the laptop, and it still has the same images within. And like I've mentioned, creating content for social media platforms of the correct size. So we would definitely, if you haven't used one of these apps before, we'd say start with Canva, just because you can get it free, and you can get it really cheaply if you did want to kind of utilize different templates within there.
Yeah, it works out, and maybe if you wanted like the full suite, like could be $12 to $15 a month. And as Emily mentioned, you can upload like one picture, and then Canva will automatically size that for like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. So it's really handy. And if it's going to be you who's investing in the account, learn how to use it yourself, but also get your colleague on it as well. Like teach as many people on your team, because if you're busy and something pops up and you need to get a flyer done really quickly, if everyone else knows how to use it as well, it will take 10 minutes. The first time you use it, it might take a while, but it's like learning how to ride a bike. The minute you know how to use it, you won't forget it. So it's awesome. Couldn't recommend it anymore. There's some really cool accounts that we think you guys should have a look at as well. Today, we're really focusing on photography. Now, Reels is going to be something that's going to be important to you guys as your business grows and as it develops. So we wanted to recommend everyone having a look at or following creators on Instagram. It's actually an Instagram owned account, and it shares amazing content and tips on how to make exceptional content across Instagram. We use it as inspiration all the time. So guys, you or your colleague or whoever's going to be, even your agency, just make sure that they're going to be following the creators account, because there's so much on there. Another source of inspiration that sometimes we forget is actually Pinterest. Pinterest has amazing content that you guys can just pin and save. Of course, we've got the free image sites, Unsplash, Pexels. So guys, if you need inspiration, or after your photo shoots, if you feel like there was a type of image you weren't able to capture, Unsplash, Pexels, they're free photo downloading platforms, and you can save those images, upload them to Canva, brand them in your branding, all for free, and then you're promoting your business for professional images as well. And of course, search hashtags on Instagram, really important. food photography, iPhone photography, smartphone photography, handheld photography, all of those hashtags. If anybody needs a list, just let us know and we will we'll send it on to you.
So a couple of takeaways from what we've kind of gone through. You can create professional looking content for your websites, blog and social channels using a smartphone. With home equipment being extremely cheap, you can create content anywhere. This equipment is for life versus a studio or photographer costs. So once you've purchased something like a tripod, you won't have to do that again, and it can be so cost effective for you. There are so many sources of inspiration that are free and accessible online. Ema's gone through a couple of those. Investing in Canva would be about $10 a month for your business. And it takes a little time to learn, but you will get there. And with each smartphone photo shoot that you do, you definitely will improve. And one other kind of thing just to add on that end point is when you are doing a shoot, even if you are using kind of one product within your product range, for example, take kind of between 10 and 30 shots for just that one shot, because you might get a different angle or something. I know that when we've done it for brands, we don't kind of go for one shot for that thing. We kind of do as many and just take as many and then pick the best ones afterwards.
Mm-hmm. So basically what Emily's saying is just go mental with your photography, and when you go through your pictures on your phone, you will find your sweet spots. Just some links that we shared with you guys. So canva.com if anyone hasn't used it, Lightroom, of course, Snapseed, Visco. Here's a link to the tripod that we showed you guys as well on Amazon, and here's a link to a light box. You do not have to buy those. We just Googled it ourselves, and we just thought it would be handy to give you guys these links. I will quickly just oh yeah, amazing. Canva. I love that, Felicia. Canva makes you feel like you're a pro at creating content. That's cool. Amazing. If there's any, I can't actually see the Q&A, I can only see the chat box. So if there's any questions, could these links be put in the chat? Yes, no problem, Sandra. We would do that just right after the session when Narina finishes sharing her amazing expertise about how she takes photos for Truly Turmeric. Okay, I will stop sharing my screen now.
Great. I'm going to take over. Hi, good morning, everybody. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm really happy to be here today and be able to share with you some of my hacks, because in the history of our country, we've only used a photographer a couple of times. So we've done a lot of this bootstrapping, and so just wanted to let you know that it's possible, and you can do it anywhere. So again, I'll just reiterate, I have some essential equipment that I like as well. So I go between using my smartphone and DSLR, like a really basic one. A tripod, I would say, is like, you have to have a tripod. It's really great for being able to, as a photographer, put your hands in the photograph, but also to make sure that you're getting really crisp and clear images so your product isn't blurry. Large sheets of white paper, binder clips, foam board, and I'll explain how I use all of these together. And a lot of what I do in our food photography, because food looks best in natural light. So if you have food, natural light is the best. When you're dealing with products that are in glass jars and bottles, it gets a little bit more complicated, but still you can get a great photo using a window. And then I will say editing your photos in some sort of app is extremely important too. So here is a really simple setup that I have. I'm just gonna hide our panelists here. I have a window on this side, and it's actually the one I use is the one that you can see right here. So a window, and the big piece of white paper you use, and you have a slant so that you don't have a harsh line, and a little bit of white foam board to bounce off the window light, which helps you get rid of really, really dark shadows that are caused by the window light coming in. And you just put that on the table, and you can change up the backgrounds if you have other paper, like colored paper, little boxes. So you just use that basic setup for everything. You can do from the top down. So that's what I really like. It's the easiest way to do that. And here are some setup options. So this is just what it looks like when everything's set up. So you have one with an iPhone here. That's the foam board. And again, like, tripods are super important. And if you do decide you want to go and get some lighting, there's an example there with 2 simple spotlights that you can buy on Amazon. I think I got a kit that was like $100 for 3 lights. So nice and easy to use. And it's just about playing with your light and making sure your image is in focus. And these mainly are for your product hero shot. So you're really focusing on your product. Lifestyle photographs can be a little bit different. But let's talk about digital for e-commerce. So the photo, the before photo is taken with that similar setup. And then to get it to the crisp and clear is where the photo editing comes in handy. So lightening up the background, retouching any defects. You can see the shoe before has a little dip there, and we're just correcting those and color correcting so it looks like what the product is. You don't want to make it a different color and the consumer gets it and it's something else. So if you're not super confident in doing this yourself, there's a great website, pixels.com, that charges you $1.45 per image to take the before to the after. So, if you're like, okay, I'm confident in taking the picture, but I'm not confident in editing it, you can have someone do it for you, $1.45 an image, pretty good. And then the other panelists shared great photo editing software. So I'll just add one more, which is Adobe Spark, and it's free online. All right, so product images versus lifestyle shots. So the product images are going to be the ones that are obviously mainly the product. When we're dealing with food and beverage, people want to see your nutrition chart and they want to see the ingredients, what's in there. So make sure you're taking the front of your product, but also make sure you take the back so consumers can see what's in there. And then the lifestyle shot here, this is a great example of portrait mode on your phone, where there's some blur in the background and it just moves your eye around the photograph a little bit and it's intriguing to your eye. So that's what I like about using portrait mode, is that it plays with your focus of your eye and captures your attention a bit better. And that lifestyle shot is simply the same background setup by the window, but I've added the cutting board, the juice, and all of that in there. So same setup, but just a couple of things added on to that. Now I have a pop quiz and I can't see the comments. Okay, how do I see the comments? All right, well, pop quiz. I'd like to know what is wrong, what you all think is wrong with this image.
So we can read you the answers. Narina, you should be able to check the chat on the bottom. Otherwise, we can read it for you. Let us know. Okay.
Great.
Good.
Yes, blurry, you can't read it. Bad quality, exactly. You can't see the text. Placement, perfect. You got it. Great. A+. So something like that where there's a lot of reflection on the packaging, maybe you take it instead of head on with a light in front of it, that's where the light from the side comes in handy, or maybe it's a bird's eye. So yes, we definitely want you to be able to see the product when you're talking to your consumers. Let's do another one. What's wrong with this photograph? It looks fairly good. Yes, blurry, that's the biggest thing. Yeah, but the background's nice and crisp and white. And if it was in focus, it would actually be a really nice product shot. So when you're taking the photos on your phone, I like to go and upload them to my computer so that I can see it on a bigger screen to make sure that it's not blurry. What about this one? Yes. Dark, bad color mix. Yes, perfect. So you need good lighting. And also I would say that you're not seeing the shine of the silver. So having some extra light on that might brighten it up and make everything shine a bit better. Because the reality is people want to be able to feel like they're holding your product before they buy it online. They want to get a good idea of what it looks like. Now, putting this all together on a website. So digital photography is great. Your camera photography is great for Instagram, Facebook, but you can also put it on your website. And so this is something that you can combine a hero shot for your product with some lifestyle photographs, just to give somebody the idea that they're holding your product and that they're excited to taste it, smell it, wear it, whatever it is, experience it. I think I saw someone with a question about how do you capture services? You capture the experience. So you're trying to translate the experience, whether it's eating the product, wearing it, or going on a tour. You want people to feel like they're there, even though it's on the screen. And then the big thing I say is, again, like pass on your knowledge, share your skills with your team. If you share your skills with young people, smaller companies, you don't know who's going to inspire you with something new. You might share it with the youngest person on your team, and then they run with that and create amazing content for your social. So yeah, share your knowledge, and also try and be sustainable with everything that you do. So I reuse the white paper that I have a lot. I'm not constantly buying and throwing out things. I like to make sure that I'm also being sustainable with my photographs. So I'd love any questions that you have about setups and how to do.
Thank you very much, Narina. I think that was amazing. Also very inspiring.
A lot in a short amount of time.
No, and full with tips. I think that today's session we had a lot of, like very interesting tips. And that I will welcome. We have some time for questions, so I would welcome anyone that has specific questions of what you have seen today, to do it on the chat, or also you can raise your hand here and we can pop it to, so you can address the panelists today. Just waiting a bit. Okay, yes, so we have Shanita. Hello, Shanita, can you hear us?
Sorry, Christine, I think I accidentally clicked on the button. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's all right, Shanita. So perhaps, Shanita, I know that Shanita is working on a special project in Dominica. Shanita, maybe we can ask a question to our panelists if they would advise something for photographs for catalogs. So maybe also, Narina, I don't know if you have done any catalogs for the company, and if you have any tips that you can share in that sense when shooting for catalogs.
Yeah, definitely. Let me actually just pull one up to show you all. So essentially, a lot of what I do is, if I'm stuck on an idea for a catalog or a sell sheet or anything like that, I look online, I do Google, and I find some examples that I like, and then I adapt it to what I can do. So I'm just gonna pull one up for you all. But we can answer a couple of questions while I'm looking.
Yes, so we have a couple of questions on the chat. I will ask them, and that Emily Amer, if in the meantime you want to answer some of those. So do you have a special tip for an outdoor photo shoot?
Yes, do it when there is lots of sunlight. Sometimes what happens is we'll plan a photo shoot and then it gets to the end of the day and then we're getting to dusk. And so do it when the sun is at its maximum exposure, when it's super bright, for sure. Hopefully that helps.
I would also say actually, like, overcast days are even better.
Amazing.
So Yeah, bright and sunny, but if you have a little bit of cloud cover, it helps to not have those like really white spots or blinding highlights. So it actually evens out a little bit more. That's mainly if you're going to do like a person, if you're trying to get jewelry or something. So overcast for that kind of stuff is actually really good.
It's a good tip.
Cool. Yes. Then we have another question on how do you make a good collage?
An app. Use an app.
It's true. Insta Collage, the app. We'll write that down. Insta Collage, perfect. It actually has loads of templates. Canva has amazing collage templates as well, guys. So try that out. They'll be free as well on the app.
Okay. Then we have another question on what does Adobe Spark do?
Adobe Spark is essentially, I think, similar to Canva in a way that it helps you add text and some animations. So it's just another application that helps you prepare your photographs for social media mainly, but you can also edit small things like the brightness or exposure, how dark or light the image is, that kind of thing.
So we also have a couple of questions, but before I go, I also know that Tessa Bolden raised her hand. So Tessa, would you like to ask us your question live?
Sorry, I think that was also an accident.
Okay, Tessa, today is the day, don't worry. We have a lot of questions on the chat, so I can go to that. So here, with bottle seasoning, should I use natural seasonings or computer-generated photo seasoning images?
What do you think, Narina? I would say try both and then see what actually works.
With bottled seasoning, like
real
jarred
shots, like real shots of seasoning versus ones that you download online, for example.
You know what? I've used a combination of. So, for example, with our new drink products, I took the product on our product page on our website. You'll see we have a list of all our products that we make. And for our hero shot, I have the bottle that I took on my own, and then I added in some of the spices, like for example, a hibiscus flower or sorrel flower that I got off the internet. So I used a combination, but I think you should always show them your product as it is, really. You know, you can add little things in the background if you from the internet, but yeah, take your own photos is like really the best, I think. I found that catalog. So,
okay. So great, we can see.
Okay, so this is a really simple cell sheet that I created. So this is a combination of photographs that we've taken and images that we've manipulated using Photoshop. But this is a really simple one. This is same setup through the window. You can kind of see the window reflection up there. Barcode, adding some clean text. So one thing that I really would like to highlight is if you're looking to export your products, keep the design simple and unbusy. So you want to focus on your products, give them the information they need, never use Comic Sans as a font ever.
We had that last week as well. That's really funny.
Yeah, never use it. Nice, clean, like modern font, and just play around with what you want to put in there. So in a catalog, you want to have some sort of lifestyle shot, and then you also want to have the product information. If it's clothing, you want size options, color options, and all of that. So I hope that kind of answers how to use them in that.
Yes, I think that was a great answer. So we have someone else that raised her hand. I'm really crossing my fingers that this was not a mistake. So Jeanette, Marcel, are you there?
Yes, hi, I'm here.
Hi,
You're hearing me, right?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
My question is, well, I have a food product as well. I have a food brand, handmade stuff, granola and sauces and spices. So lately there's this trend where everybody is using this kind of black background and like I was in another class and they were saying, oh, you should try and follow the trends. But currently on my Instagram, I try to stick to just white background because my package itself is kind of colorful. So I don't want to add a color to the back. But so should I just stick with what I'm doing, or should I kind of follow the trend as well? In terms of some of the trends, not all, like the black background, especially for food, it's a thing now. Everybody black background, black and white. That's my question.
I would say it's, as a brand, it's really easy to be tempted by what everybody else is doing and trying to keep up with the trends. But you're never going to be able to keep up. And I think the important thing is a consistent storytelling and consistent branding. So if you don't like having a black background in your photos and you don't think that it makes your product look good, then don't use it. Use what makes your product look great, and that is consistent with how you're sharing your story. But if you want more color in there, you know, I think throw in a person, you know, a lifestyle shot, somebody enjoying your product. I would say figure out more what kind of brand you want to be and how you want to communicate that to your audience, rather than jumping on trends. That's my thought.
Thank you.
Totally agree.
Right, thank you very much. And thank you, Janet, for the question.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we have also a couple of other questions here on the question and answer box. So how do I get the flash verb of my photo? Ask Andrew.
That's probably a setting. That would be a setting, but if it's the flash after you take the photo, that will be something in one of your editing apps to just slightly remove it. So that could actually be done in the what was the app that you recommended, Pixa, Narina? They could probably do that for $1.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we'll be able to share that link, but yeah, $1.45. If you really are like, I can't figure out how to edit this, just send it off to an expert. You know, $1.45 for, let's say you need 5 images beautifully edited so that they can go on your e-commerce site. I think it's worth it.
Yeah, agreed. 100%.
Cool. I also wanted to ask another question because a lot of the producers and that SMEs that we're in contact with, they have also a great connection with farmers and who supply their suppliers. You know, like, so maybe it's how it's also that you know, like connection of taking pictures not only for products but also from that supplier side to also make them look good in one sense, no, to show that transparency, but at the same time to have a photography that is good and is shareable.
I'll say in Belize, because we work with hundreds of small scale growers, it's interesting trying to get photographs with our growers, because there it's a bit more common to not smile in photographs and to have a more serious face when taking photographs. And so for our social, because we market our products a lot to the global north, they want to see happy smiling people online. So we try and have fun in our photograph shoots with growers, make them laugh and take more candid photographs rather than staged. And I would say you have to make sure that the people that are in your photographs know where this photograph is going to go so that they're okay with it.
Good, that's great advice.
Oh, and include diversity. I see a comment, include diversity, very important.
Yes. So we also have a question, someone that raised their hand, and that was the same that made the comment. So that was Umera. So I'm gonna invite her to join us. Hello, can you hear us? Yes.
Hi, everybody. I think my comment about diversity is critical. Even in a beauty shot with a hand, in Belize, we have so many different cultures. And when you are selling to the global north, don't be afraid to use diversity. In fact, do use it.
Yeah, totally agree.
Great, thank you very much. I think that yes, that really also connects with the idea of origin now, and using origin as part of building your brand and showing your identity and who you are. And also from our experience of connecting with buyers, this is key, no? Not to show something that you're not, but it's kind of like the opposite. You tap into your origin as part of the value that your company offers to consumers, and I think that's a great example in that sense. We have another picture, another question about the flash by Andrew that says the flash always seems to appear on photo.
So are you going?
Is that a lighting problem? Or yeah, I think it might be a setting from how this is described. Take it to a friend or a young person that knows the phone really well and ask them to turn the flash off.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yeah, I think test photos, a lot of the times we assume we need to use flash in our photography, but we actually don't. What we can do is take the photo without the flash and then slightly edit it with one of the apps Narina or Emily mentioned, or even just in the photo settings, slightly adjusting the brightness on that. Anytime we post on social media, even if it's raw content, we would brighten it ever so slightly, so you don't need the flash then.
Cool, great. So we don't have any further questions. If anyone wants to jump in, we're happy to, if you can join us. Maybe there's just one, sorry, that I left out. It was on the chat. We have two. One is from Chairman Francis, who says, what app is good for video with voiceover? And the second one is from Tatiana Laville. How do you Photoshop?
Video with voice. I have a Mac, so I use iMovie because it comes with the Mac, and it's pretty simple. That's the one I use. Maybe you guys, you ladies have.
For the iPhone, the one of the best ones then is probably Splice, Splice, or that could be for the Android as well. So try that one. That has really high quality sound. I'm not sure if you can add subtitles to it, but now with Facebook and Instagram, when you post video content, it can automatically add the subtitles for you. So the work is already done.
Definitely. And if you do want to kind of use one that's on a computer or laptop, if you are doing kind of videos that might go onto your website, I think Adobe Audition is the best one to use.
Great suggestion. I'm going to write that down into the chat.
Great. So we have someone else that raised her hand. It's Lian Gran. So Lian, are you there? Can you hear? Can you speak?
I am.
Okay.
Can you hear it? Yeah. So I was wondering, I have a product that it seems to be very difficult to photo real life as well. So a lot of like my Amazon visuals are digitally created. What do you do, Narina, for your glare off of your bottles? Like when you're editing, is there something specific that you found that works?
Yes. So I have a little bit more of a complex setup that I just started using. So essentially it's the idea of the window setup. So you have a table, the white sheet of paper, and then I basically took a cardboard box and cut off the back and cut little windows in the side.
Okay.
Put some tissue paper on those windows that I made. And then you can even just use desk lamps to shine a light through there. And you can never get rid of the glare completely on the glass, but you can control it. So what looks really professional is if you can get those two lights on the side focused into kind of like a curved line around your bottle. Okay. And it just takes playing, pull the light farther back, pull it closer, adjust it a little bit, but come at it from an angle both sides. And then you also want a little bit of light in the front.
Okay.
And just play with those 3 lights. You can use lamp lights, but if you find it's giving you a spot, like a dot on the glass, you have to add more tissue paper to diffuse the light, make it softer.
Okay, I have one more question. It's in regards to reels. I know we didn't really talk about reels because it was, but as a business, I think you're not allowed to, like, you get limited with your music. Is that correct? Is everybody finding that? It's so sad. The reels just don't have the same pop in the business ones.
There is a trick, Leanne, that you might get around that with. So if you share a reel on your Instagram, and Instagram is allowing this because we've tried it out and it seems to work for us, but if you create a reel on your personal account and use the music and you set that just for a second, add it to your Instagram story straight away and then download it. And what it does is it saves the reel with that sound. And then if you upload it to your business account with the reel, it automatically detects the music and it will post that music onto the business account. So then you can have anything you want.
Okay, so doing the reel on a personal account and then posting that reel, sharing it to my business account and downloading it and posting it right away in my feed.
Sharing it, so do the reel on your personal account, then press post. And then say like add to feed or add to reels, as long as it's live somewhere on your Instagram account. Then if you click the arrow button to share to your story, so share that to your story and then press download that story. If you download the whole story, it saves the video and the song, and then just upload that video to your business page.
Perfect. Thank you.
No worries.
Great hack. Thanks.
Great tip. We have a last question because we have a couple of minutes left, but it's from Chandel. Is what color can I use for my background if I am using plastic clear bags?
And any color you want. It depends on what kind of shot you're taking, I would say. Like if you're taking a shot from above, a blue would be lovely behind a plastic bag. Really anything that's within your branding.
Yeah, cool colors work well with food in general. But the other thing too is your product doesn't always have to be in the plastic bag. If it can be out of the plastic bag for your shots, like people enjoying it, or it's coming out of the bag or something. So it doesn't always have to be in the bag. It should be in the bag for the on the e-commerce that you're going to buy it, that they know it comes in that. But for everything else, you can show it as what it is outside. If it's a powder of something, again, maybe without the bag.
Yep.
And I just saw a comment from Ronaldo about his Facebook page. Don't have food shots, but he's doing tourism. So I just really quickly went to your Facebook page, and I would say, more people's faces, people enjoying things, connecting with the camera, like eye contact with the camera. It helps engage your audience more because they feel like that person is there with them, sharing that moment.
Good. There's just one last question. Is there a great way to showcase gas in photography? That's a hard question.
What's case gas?
Or like to showcase? It's just that they split into to showcase gas in photography.
Could you clarify what type of gas we're talking about? Like petrol or?
We sell LPG oxygen. Okay.
You'll have to show the tank or whatever it comes from. That's the only way people will understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People enjoying their lives.
Yeah. There you could probably get some like smoke effect from like a template online. Another really weird hack to create, you could even use this for coffee, for steam. Can't believe I'm going to say this out loud. You take a tampon and you soak it in really, really hot water, and it'll create beautiful steam lines. And you just hide that behind your coffee mug or your oxygen tank, and there you go.
Wow.
That was very good. I didn't expect
right?
anything. Thank you all for that advice. So I think that with that level of creativity, I think that we can wrap it up by today. I want to ask first all our audience to share with us your feedback about today's session. As in each session, we would really like to see if this was useful for you, if you liked it, and also please, if you have any ideas or any requests, don't hesitate to reach out to us over email. You have my email address, or you can write to alliances@intrasem.org, and we will be more than happy to liaise with you. But this is not the end, because next week we will be here again with Amar and Emily speaking about social media. So it's the perfect next step after today's session on photography. We'll be, like going into a lot of the platforms, not all of them, but some of the main platforms for your business. And I really wanted to thank again Amar, Emily, and Narina. I think that this has been a great session. It has been a pleasure for us to have you here. So thank you also to you and to the audience that has been here joining us as every Thursday. It has been great, and we cannot wait to see you all next Thursday for social media. So thank you very much, and also to our partners in the Caribbean Export, and to our founders of the European Union, of the ACP organization, of Cardi Forum, and UKTP. Thank you very much, and have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.